Do you tell your husband what I tell you in secret? What I tell you as secret? Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. Don't even tell your husband. Do you tell your husband? Confess. Will I discuss my husband flaws with you? My answer is welcome, guys, to another episode of our podcast. And I have my lovely friend here whom you have met. My name is Mo, by the way, and my friend is...
Hi guys, my name is Joy. I'm Joyjet, and it's a pleasure to be here again today as a lovely guest of Mo. I hope you guys enjoyed our last video. If you've not seen our last video, please say it, because this is like a continuation of that, right?
Yeah. And today we'll be talking about something I think people have not really said before, or maybe people have said it, but we just felt like it was important for us to talk about it, how marriage has changed our friendship. Both of us are married. I've been married 6 months now, and Joy is my senior.
No, I have to introduce myself here because I can't be letting junior students, people that I'm still training. I've been married for my husband sent it to me. I need to check. 1 year and 18 months. Sorry, he said it's not months. 1 year and 18 days.
Wow.
That's a long time. I'm so sorry. It's a very long time.
Yeah.
And she's my junior, so I've been having to train her in the ways of marriage, because this marriage, there are dynamics, entries,
deep.
Glory to God. I'm sorry. Okay, so
it's okay. So yes, we'll be talking about how marriage has changed our friendship. So I'll start with this question, Joy. How do you think marriage have changed, the way our friendship is?
I will confess.
This is the time for you to confess.
By confessing.
This is the podcast to confess.
Okay, it's like when you're doing confession with a priest. Let me close my eyes. So apparently, when Mo got married, when she was getting married, a few months to our wedding, I began to feel like Mo was distant. I felt like Solomon just came from nowhere and just snatched that from me. I knew I felt jealous, and because I can't even keep my mouth shut. I told them, I feel so jealous. I feel like you're taking my friend away from me, and I had to warn her husband. If you do anything to this girl, you will see shaking because I will come after you. So yeah, I think I felt like she was distant. I felt like she wasn't talking to me like we used to talk about everything, but now she has a particular section she will not tell me about. I mean, I wanted to hear everything. I wanted to tell her everything, but then it was like she doesn't call me as often. She was not. I was like, what's wrong with this girl? Because of ordinary man.
But let me stop. Let me stop you there, because I remember very well when you got married before me. So
yeah, I'm your senior.
Robert. But I remember when we got to the UK, because I came June and then you came in July, and then you called me and said that you're now in a relationship and everything. And what was the first thing I told you? Remember? I'm like, now that you have a boyfriend, that's how you not call me again. You not become my friend and everything. And literally that was what happened. Because then
me that I used to call you.
Used to call me, but it wasn't like the way it used to be. Like before relationship, we used to do everything together. Pray at night, pray in the morning, pray talk about everything and anything. Even like when you're having a headache, Joy will call me. If I'm like, we used to have that kind of very close and intimate talk and everything. But then when you start your relationship, I just realized that things are going to change now, and my friend is not going to
realize that things were going to change. Like
I just
did
knew.
You already come to that acceptance?
I didn't come to the acceptance, but
okay.
I knew that.
So you were expecting things to change?
No, it's not like that. It's not like I was expecting this, but I knew that it wasn't going to be like the way it used to be, because now you have somebody that you always want to talk to, someone that you are romantically involved in supersedes any other kind of relationship, and it didn't stop there. Of course, you guys went on to get married and everything, and even when you got married, I was telling my husband, my fiance then, that Joy doesn't talk to me like she used to talk to me. Like, I don't even know what's happening. When you have a close friend, you really want to know what's happening in their life. Like,
but I felt like I was telling everything.
That's how you felt.
No, I cannot even, because even my husband knew that. I used to call Mo to give her updates.
Which updates?
Hey, I should start saying everything here.
Update?
Honestly, I used to call you and tell you in the secret that this one have happened, this one did not happen, this one.
But to be fair, let's go back to what we were trying to say, that friendship, as we used to have it before we were in a relationship, did not remain the same way.
Yeah, it did not.
It didn't. Yeah. And at a point, I felt like, oh, maybe I'm no longer a friend, maybe and this. And then when I got married as well, I'm sure you also felt
I cried. See, there was a day. Okay, let me say this right. I didn't say this before. On your wedding day, I cried that morning. I cried. Ope was consoling me and consoling. I was very happy for you. I wanted you to get married. I was so happy. But I felt like my friend is gone. So yeah, I mean, not just do it on the wedding day. I remember telling Solomon before the wedding now, this year didn't pay me, you're taking my friend away. If not because I was a lady, I would have married her myself. But then, I mean, I also came to the understanding that we can't always be together like that, in that sense. We'll get married, we'll have kids, life will go on. So yeah, I think I came to that accept. At a point, had to accept it. And I've seen that friendship, we are still friends. We catch up sometimes. We call ourselves and have updates, or how are you doing in this area. But it's not like before when we talk every day, go out together, sit down together, gist together and everything. So
of course, because now you have a new bestie, isn't it? Your husband is now your new best friend. Is everything to you. And I think that, if we're not very reasonable adults, it would have affected how we would then continue to be friends.
See, until you brought up this topic, I did not realize. I don't want to go into details, but this thing has happened, and then someone felt like I really hurt her because of how I behaved during marriage and all that. It was when you brought up this topic that I realized that, oh yeah, that's true. I felt the same way. And I think friends always, except you're not good friends, you always feel like that when your best friend is having another best friend. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And you're like, I love you so much. I don't want you to go. We've been together for a long time. I don't want you to stay with me. But then life has to continue. And then I think earlier we understand that for as long as, even though we are best friends as single ladies, when we get married, things are going to change. There's going to be life updates. We will travel out. We'll go to different places. But the true test of friendship is your ability to still keep up even after there's been like a
major shift.
Yeah.
A major change.
Exactly. Like that is what truly tests if you've been a good friend or if you understand friendship in that sense.
For you to be friends, you have to be intentional. And like we said in the last video, that if you want to be a good friend, if you want to have a good friend, you have to be a good friend first. So if you know that friendship is important to you, like how Joy's friendship is important to me, we'll always try to be intentional and always try to make sure that you are doing everything that you can, to salvage the relationship and to make sure that you are still friends along the way. So if you have somebody that has just gotten married, used to be your friend and now no longer as close as they used to be, it's not because they deliberately want to be, it's just because it's a new shift, it's a new change, and they're trying to navigate the old new chain. They're trying
Yeah.
to, learn more about their partners.
Yes.
They're trying to learn about in-laws, trying to learn, if you like, I married somebody that is completely not Yoruba, trying to understand the cultural difference and
Yeah.
everything. So it's not like that friend completely threw you away. It might just be that you need to have that conversation
Yeah.
with that friend to say that, see, I don't think our relationship has been the same. How can we ensure that we made this work even as friends?
Yes.
Because I don't want to lose you as my friend, and I'm sure you don't want to lose me as your friend. So just having that conversation around it and everything. And moving on from this conversation is that I never knew that the first phase of getting married, I think between 1 to 3 months, you are literally just settling down.
Yeah.
It feels like the world has stopped, and the
Yeah.
only person
Exactly. I know.
the only person that matter at that time is your husband.
Yes.
Because you are still trying to
understand the person.
You're still trying to, all the emotions,
Yes.
all the
You're having petty fights. You're having like those first 3 months is like, I don't like how you looked at me this morning. And like,
how did I look at you?
But we looked at ourselves normally. And so all those period, I mean, it is important as friends to now understand that we need to give our friends allowance and let them balance, let them settle.
Yeah.
Even if we will eventually talk about it and say, oh, I feel like this friendship is not as it used to be. It's important that we at that time understand that it's the early phase of their marriage, and they need to settle down. After they've settled down, after like 1 year, you can say, girl, let's have a girls and girls.
Maybe not up to 1 year.
Yeah.
Maybe,
but at least give
them that time, until your friend come around and say, oh, I know I've been distant, and all of those things. Let them just settle down. Don't judge them. Don't say. I know some people are very bitter people. I'm sorry to say, but some people will be like, well, you are now married. We are not married, so that's why, But no, and life is not always like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to have that conversation.
And again, I think that especially if the person gets married and gets pregnant immediately.
Oh, that's a whole lot.
You will be so insensitive to just jump into them and say, oh, you are not giving the energy and all those kind of things, because they've gone from a very different phase to like 10 layers above. Do you understand? Like, so they need a whole lot of time. They need a whole like love. They need you to like be there for them even much more at that time.
While we were preparing for this podcast, there was something that got highlighted in my mind. It was about Jesus and Lazarus.
Yeah.
The Bible recorded that Lazarus was sick, and Mary and Martha had called for Jesus to come at that time to just to come around to help Lazarus. But Jesus Christ did not come until Lazarus died. And if you are in that situation, you feel like Jesus Christ was
late.
Was not a good friend.
Yeah,
the
Bible, your friend was dying. Guy, you should have been there.
And it just sometimes you might think that you're like, if you were in that situation, that Jesus situation, it would be like Jesus was insensitive. But then if we read the old scripture, that part very well, you understand that Jesus Christ wasn't there because of other things. Of course, he was doing some other things, and he needed to come at that time so that the glory of God will show forth. So in all, maybe not totally related, but to say that give your friends a benefit of doubt. The fact that they're not showing up when you need them to show up may not be about you. It may not be because they're angry at you. It may just because they're dealing with some other things in their life that they cannot show up at that time. So I just thought to
can I also say that, especially for people that, not just people that just got married or are having kids, people that have just relocated to a new country, it's different. I did not know what I was doing until I left Nigeria. I mean it. When you move from one country to the other, it's a different life entirely. You are starting your life all over. You are just getting to understand new people, a new job, a new house, a new environment. So at that time,
new pressure.
Your friend, new pressure. Like, you are trying to get to a standard that people have already gotten to years ago. So you are just like, it's a lot for people. So when people move and you're like, oh, because you are now in a new country, you don't message me. guy, it's not like that too. Like, people are trying to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, give them a benefit of doubt and give them support and as much love as you can.
Yeah.
As married people, is there a limit to what we can discuss? We were best friends before marriage, and we talked about every single thing.
I'd like to answer this way because as Christians, we understand that when a man and a woman come together, they become one.
Yeah, say that again.
So when a man and a woman come together, they become one.
Yeah.
So they literally need to protect themselves.
Yeah.
So the question is, will I discuss, let's say even flaws? Will I discuss my husband's flaws with you? My answer is no. Not because you're not my friend.
Yeah.
Not because I'm throwing our friendship into the mud.
Yeah.
But because I think I need to protect my
husband.
my institution that is called marriage. Yeah. I need to protect my husband. I need both of us to come together. I should be the only one to see his flaws. I should not be washing his linen outside and be... I know you are not like an outsider, but again, anybody that is not
in the marriage is an outsider.
Is an outsider.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be discussing my husband's flaws with any of my friend. I'm sorry if you take offense, but that is how
they want to take offense.
That is how it should be. That is how it should be, but it doesn't mean that you should not ask for advice.
Yeah.
Or ask for prayers. Yeah. Or let's say you are going through something, but you can't really say the details, but you know that your friend can help you to pray through it. It's something you can tell. I need you to pray with me. I cannot disclose what is happening, but I need you to. I think communication is the bedrock for any
friendship,
any kind of relationship. Yeah. As a matter of fact, if both of us were reasonable people, and I tell you I'm going through some stuff that I would not like to disclose with you, but I need you to agree with me in prayer. Can you please pray with me? Of course, I'm a reasonable person. Unless that person is, something else is wrong.
A little unreasonable.
A little on the other side, then that's when that person would take offense. So again, I don't think I would. It is reasonable. I don't think it's reasonable for you to tell your best friend your husband's flaw, because then it will affect even the way they look at them.
They perceive your husband. Yeah. That's very very true.
It will look
because I know of someone. I'm not gonna give details. So this person used to come to this other person to tell the person about her husband and how her husband is a really bad person and how he does a lot of things. Do you understand? And as much as she was trying to get advice from the second person, I mean, I knew because I was very close to that person, and I used to hear when she comes to gossip about her husband. Sometimes I noticed that the other person, the one that, like, Madam A is outsider, Madam B is owner of the house. So Madam B started, because of all the things Madam A has said about her husband, the way Madam A perceived Madam B's husband was different. And then Madam B also began to behave somehow to her husband, because it became like, oh, that's how men are. So they're like, oh, look at how this man is behaving. So the owner of the house began to see that, oh, is that why my husband was doing this thing that he was doing? Yeah. Do you understand? Even when these things are not related. So even if your friend is coming to gossip about her husband with you, over time, you begin to bring those problems into your own house, and it's going to affect your own marriage. So let everybody keep their gossips to their house. If you have a problem, I can pray with you, but don't come and tell me your husband's flaws. I don't want to know. Because is it me that marry him? No. Did I agree to marry him?
No. Of course, there are some exceptions of if you are in a toxic relationship.
That's it. Yeah.
We don't pray for anyone to be in a toxic relationship, but these things do happen. Yeah. If it's a matter of life and death, please
then you have to speak up. Yeah.
Voice out. Again, we've seen the extreme of all of this, that people have said that I'm a Christian, in a Christian relationship, I should not discuss my husband with anybody. So even if I'm dying, I'm not going to discuss my husband. No. That is an extreme. If it's a matter of life and death,
especially if it's physically abusive, even if it's just emotionally abusive, sometimes you just need to speak with somebody. Even if you cannot speak with a friend, sometimes it could be like a therapist or a marriage counselor, and they may be able to advise you on how to go about it. I have one more question. This one, I'm not going to answer it. I'll let you answer this one. How do you relate with the husband of your best friend? Do you relate with him like your best friend? Oh, the husband of my best friend is my best friend. Or do you relate with him like on levels of
that's another
you're not my friend, or you're like day your day, let me day my day? Or do you just like try to like farms him like
I understand the question, and I will answer this way because for me, I know that I've chosen a reasonable friend. And for whatever reason, no matter the shape, the size, the wisdom or foolishness of that person, I would always respect that person.
Yeah.
And it is that respect, it is the out of respect for my friend that I will also used to relate to my friend's spouse.
Yeah.
And that's how I relate to, your husband, because I feel like this is my friend's choice. I need to respect who she has decided to spend the rest of her life with. And because of this, I transfer automatically that respect to him. I honor him the way he wants to be, how my friend will. Even if my friend is not going to be there, I'll still treat him the way my friend would treat him. No, like
I promise you, I treat your husband well.
but
wait. Solomon, why are you shaking your head? Don't I treat you well? Solomon, do I not treat you well? I am not going to stop. Do I treat you well? I not treat you well. Oh God. Okay.
Our husbands are the one behind the scene. Yeah, so that's it for me.
Okay, so this one is not related. I promise you, it's not like anything. But it's just to clarify. So what if? Okay, let me do it again. So what if your friend's husband offends you? Will that affect the relationship you have with your friend?
For me, it would never.
So if my husband come now and remove your wig,
it would never.
And give you hot slap.
Well, to be fair, your husband is not like that.
Just in case,
it's not going to affect the way I'm going to be relating with you. It's not going to affect anything, as a matter of fact, unless my friend makes a big deal out of it. That's when I begin to withdraw, or unless my friend then begins to disrespect my husband. Then
that one I cannot tolerate.
No, it's going to be a no. I'm not going to stay there and insult my husband or disrespect my husband. No, I'm not going to take that. And again, some of the issues that people face is that sometimes it's not compulsory for them to get along.
Okay. Yeah.
Like sometimes personality can be very different.
Yeah.
And it should not affect your relationship with your friend. Like, let's say for instance, I don't vibe with your husband. I don't like the way he behaves or all of those things. It might be not affect the way it might be personality, personality difference. Yeah. It might be so many other things, but it would not affect, or it should not affect the way I and my friend should relate. Do you tell your husband what I tell you in secret? What I tell you as secret? Don't tell anybody. Don't even tell your husband. Do you tell your husband? Confess.
Okay. Right. No. Actually, no.
Well done.
No. Let me explain. I promise you, I'm gonna be like, there are some things, right, that maybe we just discuss on a peripheral. But I may not say details, right? But we'll talk about it. Sometimes it's a mistake. But if you tell me, this thing is a secret, it's between me and you, I will definitely not mention it to my husband.
Yeah.
When we were dating, I promise you, it's the truth. When I was dating my husband, there were times when people would come and say, "Joy, I'm telling you something," and the moment I call him, that's the first thing that I want to say. Honestly, I cannot explain that phenomenon. But I just know that once I pick my phone, I'm like, and they say I should not tell you.
But I think I've seen is it real now or meme?
Yeah.
That says that anything you tell me in secret, just best believe. That just best believe that I'm going to tell my husband. I think it's a very tricky question, to be fair, because...
Wait, I have a question. Did it like call you and beg you? Don't tell your husband. Did you tell your husband?
I didn't.
Good.
My husband is here. Hey, I didn't. But things that pertains to life and death.
Yeah.
You know, we're not encouraging you to keep secret from your husband, because you and your husband should be one. Do you get me now? There should not be any secrets between you and your husband. But again, there's some things that girls.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want my husband to be thinking about that. We're not keeping
We will not tell you everything. Thank you very much.
Oh God, thank you so much, guys, for joining us on today's episode. We're so delighted that you've chosen to spend your data on this video.
And your time. And your time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I hope that you find this very helpful. Please put in the comment section what you think, what you would like us to discuss again, or how helpful this has been to you.
And make sure you subscribe. I said that on Instagram. You guys said this. You said subscribe. So please subscribe to this channel.
What is that? Say it again.
Subscribe.
Okay.
Right.
Please.
Thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure.
Comment, and
share it to your mommy's WhatsApp group. Then your mommy will help us to share it
to the church group.
The church group. And then the prayer group.
See you next time.
Bye.